Hello and welcome to the Unscripted podcast with Kieran and Louie. Today we thought we'd just do a short podcast on where we are with Unscripted and what we'll be doing going forward. Let's just kick off. I think the first thing is probably we'd hope to do this in person eventually when we're able to.
We've kind of discussed it at length throughout the whole year we've been stuck in. So we kind of just want to eventually kind of move it into a space where we can have it set up with the cameras that Kieran's purchased, if you want to show.
Very nice.
And other things that we want to kind of invest in together and just kind of make it look better and then kind of make the whole thing kind of nice the way we like it.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love a good studio space with a bunch of books in the background and some cinematic cameras that make it look good, so you don't have to see it over Zoom.
But I like the idea. I like this Zoom thing because it's quite easy and it's just you can do it and it's quite quick. Mm-hmm. But there's also the thing of just kind of like having it in the studio and kind of camera angles, different ones. It would just look so much better and it would just elevate it to a whole new level.
Yeah, and I think it's also like a degree of professionalism. I think it puts you in the zone. You feel like, okay, this is actually a proper thing. Whereas with Zoom, it's just like hopping on and trying not to laugh before you start or during it.
Yeah, I feel like kind of if we had the studio space or if it was like at yours or my, so on or whatever, it would like make us achieve the best we can in that set time period. Because with Zoom, you can, as you said, it's kind of, you can have mistakes and you can just cut it out or restart. Whereas if we've actually got like a set hour within a week that we have to do it, we'll kind of up our game and it'll just be better. And plus, if we have more guests coming that we don't know, it'll just be like, we have to get it right first time and we have to have everything. It's like a proper set and it has to be on point.
Yeah, so I think proper cameras and proper studio space.
Lighting as well.
Lighting, yeah. Although, to be honest, mine isn't too bad. I've got 2 lamps here. But yeah, a proper lighting setup would be good.
Yeah.
And I guess more guests.
Yeah, more guests. That's kind of the next thing out.
People we don't know.
Yeah. Who would your dream guest be?
Dream guest?
No matter the stature.
It's a tough one.
I've got mine.
You got yours? Okay, go on then.
Yeah. Alex Ferguson.
That's
How cool would that be?
That's
We're both Man United fans. That'd be amazing.
We'll just
imagine.
Talk about what's happened to the club.
Even that, like, even someone like Marcus Rashford would be amazing.
Absolutely, especially with everything that he's done out with football as well.
Yeah. Come on, you need a guest. Think of anyone.
Somebody from the film industry.
Just dead or alive help. Can be dead or alive.
I see. We need obtainable goals. So somebody who's alive who would come on one day once we make it big. But it'd be good to get a politician on.
Do you think so?
I think so. Just talk about the world and not even so much of like trying to grill them per se on like policies and that sort of thing, but more just talking about their day to day and being in the public eye and making decisions and what goes into that.
I think it'd be quite interesting once we get people like that on. It's just kind of interesting to see their kind of point of view on things like social media that we've touched on in the past and how they deal with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually know how they deal with it. It's kind of just like they might hate it and they might just think, they have a team doing it because they can't deal with the kind of hate that they get.
Unscripted
they do.
Live stream with Nicola Sturgeon and Boris Johnson.
We'll hold the debates. mute Johnson when he's getting a bit too noisy.
So that would just be the whole podcast then.
Yeah, just me muting him.
But no, I think going back to the studio space, I think if we have that, that can also help us get more guests,
Yeah.
because then it's more professional and people actually see it as a proper thing.
Yeah. And then they'll take it more seriously. And then it'll kind of lead to them kind of even telling their audience about what they've just been on and so on and so on. Whereas with like a Zoom kind of thing, it'll just be kind of like, maybe. But we've got loads behind at the moment in terms of like podcasts to show what we've been doing. So they're kind of like, oh, they're legit. So it's kind of, but the studio space will help, as you said.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I guess with more guests, we could do more content in terms of shorter length podcasts and longer length, whether that's be doing a longer format one, it's a couple of hours long, and then cutting down little snippets, or just doing like 30-minute quick podcasts, which I mean Zoom's ideal for.
I mean, it could even be like this case where like could like have a second channel, just like kind of call it, because loads of podcasts do it like clips, clips channels. So like you just do it and just kind of like have clips because people don't like these kind of 40-minute, 50-minute things. I mean, some people do, but some people don't. They just like the short kind of like 5-minute clip or something that just kind of look at, which I feel like is everybody at the moment because of the lockdown and short attention spans and so on and so on.
Yeah. It would be good though to get the stuff up on things like Spotify and Google Podcasts and what's it, Apple Music. Does it come under Apple Music? Or is it iTunes that comes under?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it would be good to get it on. It's quite hard. It's hard to do that. It is actually really hard to do that. Speaking from experience. So yeah.
We'll work on it. We'll get it up for you.
Touching on the kind of more podcasts, do you think kind of having like set things each week would be quite good? So like say for example, we'd have like a football thing every week with like a set guest. Like so, like me, you, and Kevin, for example, every week we talk about football, what's happened, and then you'd have another podcast that would come out with a guest every week, and then something else along. I don't know, like a film review of a scene every week, and you just have those three every week. Do you think something like that could work?
Yeah, it says scheduled podcasts each week, like one long format, and then sort of one shorter, and one in between. It'd be quite good. Just us two then having guests on. And
doesn't even necessarily need to be podcasts because we've rebranded the YouTube channel now to just Unscripted.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, there's definitely more coming in terms of content out with podcasts, things like short films and music composing, which I guess go hand in hand as well.
Yeah, it's quite good to add the music and you do film because it's kind of like a double act. So I could just do all the music for you. And you just, but some of the ideas that we've come up with and the ideas that you've come up with as well for short films and kind of content, it's good. We've got a lot coming.
Yeah, there's about
busy.
4 or 5 in the works at the moment. So just, I guess, crack on post lockdown and get them made, get them out.
Yeah. I really like the one that we've got to get together, but I'm not going to say it right now. It's good. I quite like it.
I would say it involves water.
Yeah.
And
involved.
I hate swimming. I hate like just the ocean. So it'll be good. Interesting. It'll be authentic.
The sheer pain. The sheer pain of your face when you go into the water.
It's gonna have to be a one-take wonder.
Yeah, well, I have to think about that in terms of you're going to get your whatever you're wearing wet.
Yep.
No matter what. Both of us. So it's gonna have to. We're gonna have to pick a lot of spare clothes and stuff like that. So it could be interesting to see.
It'll be a good technical challenge.
Yeah, in terms of the shots we could get in that location, it could be pretty good.
And I think that as well is where the sort of added kit now, the Black Magic, just lenses and stuff that opens up the doors to do more things and to experiment and to really take everything up a notch in terms of quality. It's not going to make the storytelling any better, but it does help, and it helps that you look the part.
I mean, even stuff like if we did invest in like a drone, say, it would just like elevate things that we'd shoot and stuff like that we've got planned. It just did look so much better in terms of like transition shots and kind of different shots you could have. It's just, yeah, it's the next step. It's kind of just getting the equipment in and kind of, I don't know, elevating the content.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to get at. That will happen. It's just it can't happen at the moment due to circumstances.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
It'd be good to have a title sequence as well
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
for the podcast, and then just for everything else that we do. And I guess more social media presence, more content on that.
Yeah. I think the stuff like the Instagram page and kind of the views and stuff and so on comes with time, kind of consistency. Because if you're not consistent with it, you'll never get kind of anywhere. That's with anything you do. So it's just like we just need to keep going and keep going, keep going, and it'll eventually happen. So, because that's.
I think that's where guests as well could help if we're networking and meeting people and having guests on that are also in the public eye, perhaps. That can attract interest. And if worst comes to worst, we'll just buy like 60,000 bot followers.
60? Only 60?
It starts small.
500,000. Nah, but what you were saying about the guests, like even if what you were saying about getting a politician on, if we got one politician on, then she or he shared it onto the socials and another few politicians saw it and they expressed interest, it just expands it. And it's what we need to do this year. It's just kind of just expand the audience via guests and kind of content and so on.
You'd either have to hide the Communist Manifesto or bring it closer to the camera for this podcast.
Hide it. We have to remain neutral and kind of, yeah.
Impartial.
Impartial indeed, yes. I think I was gonna say something though. Oh, even when like stuff like the short films and stuff we've got like coming, he's like talking about expanding our audience. It's like we were just touching on it before we started this. It's like even like submitting it to like festivals, like short film festivals and stuff like that could really kind of put us within kind of a certain kind of, even for you as well, like give you more opportunities in terms of like filmmaking and stuff like that as well. And it would give the channel and even me maybe with like music as well. So it's just like open doors to us. Yeah. That's what we need to do.
It'd be good to bring on more people eventually once we have the sort of financing to do that.
Yeah, stuff like editor and so on.
Camera ops and stuff. Because it's a lot to try and juggle, like actually doing podcasts, social media, editing them all, music, so on, especially with things like with it, just life.
Yeah, I know.
Uni, college.
It takes a lot because it's like you're doing college, I'm at uni, and if I'm doing music, it takes quite a bit of time, and then if you're doing the editing, it takes time. So we do need another kind of body or someone who can just edit it quickly for us. So if anyone's out there, this is the call.
What should we do our next podcast on? Well, hopefully, we'll churn them out, but to a good standard, of course. We'll try and get more out and do this at 2 or 3 a week. Have them on scheduled days.
I think we bring on not a male guest. We diversify.
It's a good shout. The female presence.
Yeah, we need that in our channel, I feel. New voice, fresh voice.
Well,
maybe divert away from football for a bit.
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Yeah, so it won't be football next time.
Something other than football, anything.
Yeah, anything.
Football.
Yeah, so have we got anything else to say, or is this just kind of a?
I mean, I think that's short and sweet. Just
Short, sweet. That's informing. Yeah.
Talking about our plans.
Yeah. Well,
What's to come.
we'll be back soon with another video of some sort. So, see ya.